Everybody take a photo. Social media is where this is at. Next year, this should be 10 times as big. Post your photo. Next thing, if you got a joint, now's the time to pull it out.
Please, the floor is yours, State Senator Jeff Irwin.
Oh gosh, well, thanks for getting me back on here. It seems like only the diehards are still sticking it out here at 4:11. Maybe I should stick around for 9 more minutes. But yeah, I jumped. I thought I was on, and you gave me the go sign, and I went on this big rant, about the importance of our rights and our freedoms and all the important things people need to be thinking about with respect to Lansing right now. And then I went on a bicycle ride with the family. So apparently it didn't get on. So I'll do my best to try to recreate the magic if I can. I do appreciate being a part of virtual Hash Bash. It's been an honor to be a part of the real event on the Diag so many of the last years. And, missing this 49th is maybe going to only make it sweeter next year when we're out there on the 50th next April. So I hope to be joining you all out there then. But in the meantime, we do have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of great organizers and activists on this call and within reach of this network. And there's a few things I just wanted to highlight for folks. And one of them is that first and foremost, we need to be protecting Proposal 1. There already are a lot of assaults on Proposal 1 in Lansing. Regulatory assaults, folks trying to raise the taxes, folks trying to diminish the civil liberties that we won in November of 2018, and we can't let that happen. How do we stop that from happening? We build relationships with our state legislators. So I'm asking every single one of you to do that, to get to know your state legislators, make sure they know who you are, build a positive, respectful relationship with them, ask them tough questions and, try to make sure they answer them, but make it about the issues. And I think that if we continue to press our point, that we'll continue to have successes on cannabis law reform. And we've got a lot of momentum, and we need to continue to do that by building these relationships in a productive way. And legislators are a key part of that. Another thing we need to do, in my mind, is there's a lot of work to be done at the local level. We know that when the 2008 medical marijuana law was passed, there wasn't equal enforcement of the law around the state. We know that safe and legal access under the medical law wasn't equal across the state. We know that the way that the recreational access has rolled out has not been equal. And we need to make sure that we're building relationships again with our local officials to make sure that they know what we think, to make sure that they're, when they're up for election, that they're being asked these questions about, do they believe that, local people should have a chance in a local cannabis industry in their community? Do they think there should be the opportunity for commercial activity in their community? How are they going to direct law enforcement to respond to this kind of activity? Those are all important questions, and we need to be asking those during the context of the election this fall and going forward. And finally, the most important thing I wanted to talk to folks about, and the thing that I was hoping to, really hammer home with a large Hash Bash crowd out on the Diag, is, the issue of expungement. Right now, we are in the middle of a very active discussion in Lansing around legislation to expunge cannabis-related crimes. And this is the great unfinished work so far of Proposal 1, which is, what are we going to do with the hundreds of thousands of people who currently still have a criminal record for something that is now legal? And there has been efforts to try to get things moving in Lansing. I introduced Senate Bill 416 last year, which I thought was a sweeping approach to making sure that everything that is now legal is set aside. And that bill has not yet gotten a hearing. However, I got to give some credit to my colleague, Representative Meerman, who introduced House Bill 4982. And House Bill 4982 doesn't do everything I want to do. I don't think it actually does set aside all the crimes that are on the books for activity that's now legal. But that bill does set aside all of the possession and use crimes. That means that 235,000 people, roughly, are going to be positively affected by that legislation. That bill passed the House with a huge majority. Now it's over in the Senate Judiciary Committee. And I'm asking every single one of you to reach out to all the senators, especially the members of the judiciary, especially your senators, and ask them to improve House Bill 4982 to make sure that not only do we wipe away those 235,000 crimes that are the lowest level, most petty crimes, possession and use, but also that we give everybody who has a manufacturer felony or a possession with intent to deliver charge, that those folks have an opportunity to get in front of a judge and have their record set aside as well. All of that is now legal. There are now people growing huge warehouses in Michigan. There are now people opening storefronts and vending cannabis. We need to give everybody who is hurt in the war on drugs and everyone who's hurt in the war on cannabis an opportunity to have their record cleared. And that should be broad and sweeping, and we shouldn't be requiring people to hire attorneys or go through a bunch of process at the courthouse. The people have spoken, and we need to drive home this victory. So please contact your legislators, and once again, build those relationships. Build them with your legislators. Build them with your local officials. Make sure they know the large group of folks out here who think that we need to still improve our cannabis laws here in the state of Michigan, improve our criminal justice laws to protect people's freedoms.
Senator, how have we adjusted the legislative schedule to address the COVID crisis? I know it's down to, what, 1 day a week? Is that it?
No, not even. So the quick answer is our last session was March 17th. That was the last time we met. We approved a COVID relief with some state funds, but we haven't met since then. The expectation is that we're going to meet on Tuesday. There is the governor's first executive order under the Emergency Management Act is only good for 28 days, and the legislature has an opportunity to extend that. The governor has requested that, and the expectation is that we're going to go in on Tuesday and do so.
Awesome.
All right. So I have some late breaking news. I think Senator Irwin may want to see this as well, but I have a live photo here of the Diag in Ann Arbor. They have shut it down. They have police cars in front of the Diag, so they were definitely ready for anybody that wanted to break the governor's order today.
They had police cars out there.
Let's get some footage.
All right, Jamie. I think we have Ann Bannister on, I believe.
Senator, thank you again for appearing on the digital Hash Bash 2020 broadcast.
But Hash Bash will work. Everybody take a photo. Social media is where this is at. Next year, this should be 10 times as big. Post your photo. Next thing, if you got a joint, now's the time to pull it out.